Yo, yo. All right. Interesting day, man. Holy interesting day. Very weird, very bifurcated. Tech selling off hard. ES kind of really held it up for as long as it did. And then I don't know whether you want to say ES give up or tech was just so heavy that it brought ES down. I don't know. Yeah, Delta was very positive going into the day. So really no reason that you should be looking at the sell-off. But if you look at NQ, as it started to sell off, Delta really started to crash. So yeah, again, when the two indices are acting that differently from each other, it's a good idea to stay out. Did I stay out? No. I actually had a pretty green day today, so pretty happy with that. 1600, almost 1700 times 3. So yeah, 3200 to start the week off in the new month. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, I feel bad. I saw a lot of people in the red today, and I know it was very confusing for a number of reasons. Yeah, some things that you got to be worried about right away is when we take off. So I'd mentioned kind of overnight, I woke up really, really early randomly because I fell asleep very early, and I mentioned in the chat, I said, looks like a squeeze. Literally, I think an hour before. I mean, if you're in our Discord, then you can just look back, but I don't have it with me, but I think it was like an hour, no, 30 minutes ish before. Said looking like a squeeze. You basically just saw that some big players were starting to step in. Where are we at here? I think saw a couple things on ES, but I really started to see NQ take the show. So oh yeah, I guess nothing is really as far as big trades there. It was mainly on NQ. Where are we here on NQ? Yeah, it was right there. Because what I saw, it was like a really quick rebid, basically, rebalance. So saw here, this was just leading. This is about an hour before, right? So we're seeing basically sellers unable. I'm looking on NQ now. We're seeing sellers basically unable to drag it down. They're trying as we get closer to 30,000. 30,000, 040. So 30,040, 30,070. That's kind of our pivot level, I would say, for who's in charge. Buyers in charge above, sellers in charge below. We're actually a lot higher above the pivot of, I would say, 73.90 on ES. So ES is way above kind of where I would say sellers can easily take control. It was really just NQ flipping below and then selling hard below that I think just dragged ES down, honestly. So yeah, you see here leading up to it. I didn't like being below midnight open. I said that in the chat. I didn't like being below midnight open leading into NFP. And then sure enough, we start to squeeze higher and higher. And I was like, okay, this would be really interesting if they get it above midnight open into NFP and then hold it. Because if that's the case and they're going to hold it above midnight open just after NFP, then I'd look for continued longs basically. And played out, I was long on ES because ES, like I said, we're way above the buyer pivot on ES. So if I'm in longs, I want to stay on buys on ES. It's a stronger buyer on that side. Tech has had some pretty crazy sells recently. It seemed pretty weak. It's been dragging its heels, and we're seeing a lot of rotation. Like if you look at right there, YM finished almost 1% in the green today. So very, very different. That's your classic rotation in market cycles. So anyways, buyers start to drag it up. You see some big orders coming in here, and then this is, I'll zoom in a little bit more, 100 lots. We're now, what were we, like about just 40, 50 minutes before yeah, because it was at 6:30, right? Yeah, it was way up here. Yeah, I believe it was at 6:30. Yeah, so we already started squeezing going to NFP. I like that. Clearly to me, I was like, okay, we are trying to get above midnight open going into NFP. So you can see ES doing the same thing. Midnight open, I believe, was 57, I think 7557. So yeah, just got right up there for midnight open, and then on NQ it was 170 actually. So it was a little bit below midnight open going to NFP, but it was enough where I could tell that buyers were making a push. You see some sells coming in here. So real quickly, you see this push out of this tight consolidation range right here. I believe as we're consolidating there, it was like below. Where was it? Oh, it was on, yes. Yeah, it was below monthly open right here that we were just bouncing our heads on, and then break above. You saw a seller try and then come down and push below. And then, where is it? Oh, yeah, right there. So you see seller come down, try and push below, no luck, just immediate rebid, and then push higher. So buyers in control going into NFP, and then strong push, honestly, after that. So really strong push. And then I was already long going into that. That was just enough of, once I said, I think they're going for a squeeze. I was long, and then I just held it as long as I could. I had a pretty loose stop. I think I had it below like, where did I have it? I think I had it below this low. Because I was like, well, if they crack this far down and then we're still below midnight open, I don't want to be in longs anymore. But yeah, it held pretty far. I held it near the highs. It actually started to come back down further than I wanted it to. I wanted to see, I didn't like that we rejected. We didn't actually even get to 75.95. So I wanted to see at least us test 7,600. Didn't like that we rejected there. And then you see these large buys at the highs mixed with NQ, just no dice. And then sellers start to take control. Where is that? That's right here. So yeah, and then you basically, there's their big SMT. Yes, making a much higher high. NQ not. So don't like that already as well. But yeah, big buys at the highs matched with nothing. And then just, it was all sells from there. So I think from there, I don't know. Now I'm looking at, I have this standard deviation mapped out. So you see this manipulation above the highs on ES. So marking out on the 5 minute low to high. Pretty straightforward there. Then we kind of stopped around the 2.5, which is 74.88. So 74.88, where is it? 74.88. Yeah, so kind of, I was saying in the last video, 74.70 really wanted to hold. You saw some sellers kind of come in the mix there on that manipulation, and then buyers just pushed through there. So I did want that to hold. I'm glad that held for intraday at least. And then even in the video yesterday, I said very straightforward. I said 840 I wanted to defend. So 840 was actually a really good low, and then produced, well, I don't know, what is that, like almost 500 points. So pretty solid. But yeah, so 74, what was it? 74.88, holding pretty good. Tomorrow's being, yeah, I'm Canadian, so tomorrow I forgot is Independence Day, so it's bank holiday, so I'm not even going to trade it. Just kind of let this sort itself out. They're very bifurcated. They're, out of sync with each other. I would say tech is taking a way heavier beating. I'm fine. If it gets down to this 4.5, I will take a stab at it. If it gets down cleanly, if we see any type of big, reversal and then up, I doubt it. We're not going to see that. But if we get all the way down this 4.5 pretty cleanly, retest kind of 7,400 area, this is 74.04, I will take it. Well, obviously I'll look for buyer first, and then bonus points, obviously, if we're at those lows, and by the looks of it, ES will be way lower. ES might actually even, we'll see. I'm not too confident in that TR pocket. We'll see. It doesn't really line up with, well, yeah, we'll see. It could. That TR pocket could hold. I'm confident, and Q will tap these naked POCs down there and might even get below previous month low. So if it does that and then ES holds up around 7,400, that's great. And then I'll look for continued longs. But for now, we're still stuck in this range, so kind of hard to see where we go from there. But yeah, anyways, I would just take the day off tomorrow. And unless you see any crazy volatility, if there's big news or something and you see us get down to those kind of key levels, if we're anywhere in this range, I would just wouldn't trade it. Just enjoy your day. Take an early weekend and then come back next week and we'll see what's going on. Anyways, that's all for now. Good luck. Bye.